This is a public hearing, so we'll be taking comments from anybody on the board and any of the public in here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, I live down in that area, and those two roads are heavily used. People are used to stopping at the four-way stop. I want it to continue. It was put in there by the previous council. Because it was built up with traffic. It is a safety issue, and I'm requesting that it stays as is. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion or public comments on this? Hearing and seeing none, we'll close the public hearing and move on to item 7. Discussion and possible action, items pertaining to the public hearing. Item 1, Councilman Alworth, discussion for possible action, approval to remove east-west facing stop signs on North Street at Ogden and North Street intersections.
I think it is a very awkward four-way stop. People are kind of creeping out into the intersection to see who stopped first, what they're doing. I don't like them at all. I move to approve.
Well, second.
We have a motion from Councilman Carson and a second from Councilman Alworth. Is there any other discussion on this? Anything you'd like to add, Sheriff, or DJ, or anybody?
It's their decision.
Okay.
One thing I'd like to say is that on the one that's going north,
I don't see it on the agenda here where one recommendation was to put the cross traffic doesn't stop. Signs that stay.
Yeah, so the ones going down Ogden have a stop sign.
And the stop sign,
Cross
which
traffic
means
does
the
not
cross
stop.
traffic doesn't stop.
Okay.
The only comment I have on that, BJ, is a stop sign is for that, stop and look. You don't need to be stopped and say, read the sign before you go. Or we have them all over town. That's my only comment. We're all adults, we pass your driver's license test, you're supposed to stop the stop sign and look. We don't need to say, hey, you got new people coming to town, don't know those stop signs were there on the side. So I think it's childish, my side.
Ed?
well, I was gonna say that I think it's gonna be better because that one tree there, when you're going east, that you flat can't see that stop sign anyway. So, there's a lot of people running it, but the other one is, as I do see cross traffic, does not stop on 93 coming on to the outlet right there. I don't know why you have to put it out there. Like you say, a big stop sign, you should stop, but I'm okay with it. Cross traffic doesn't stop if you have to put it on there. But, yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Would Councilman Carson or Councilman Alworth like to come in there?
I don't think so, thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion? We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? Carried to order. Thank you. We're back. We're on item C3. Council members, city treasurer track discussion for possible action. Approve budget committee's recommendations of American Rescue Plan expenditures to include modified or exclude the following. Item 1, first item, Ford AV sound system upgrade includes removable four two-way speakers, one 65-inch flat panel with mobile cart, and installation training warranty in the amount of $32,072.08. A preventive maintenance contract can be added for $2,379, and 10 AEDs, 4 without cabinets for city and Ely Fire Department vehicles, and 6 with cabinets, 1 for each of the city facilities in the amount of $20,504.00.
Mayor Robertson, just for the record, I did receive one text from Kay Roberts McMurray. Quote, the audio sounds really muffled for some reason. So the others that are on Zoom don't have my cell number.
Nobody's messaged on Zoom
No.
to say anything.
No.
And we do have a representative from 40B here for that as well. So what I would recommend to the council is we take both of these items as separate motions. And we'll start with the AV item, which you have a copy of their quote here. And as I said, someone from 40B to answer the question.
I think right now we don't have the internet to support something like this. I know we do use this, the big screens and everything to zoom in at the tour and rec, and it's constantly locking up, freezing. We have to stop the meeting. I think we definitely need to get that in first before we look at more expensive options.
kind of system do they use at that, of those meetings?
You know, I don't know the name of it.
Is it like a separate camera, whole setup? thing?
Yeah, they got TV on the wall back here, you can see everybody. It's pretty sophisticated, but like I say, the internet just doesn't support it.
Councilman Arnold?
I have 3 comments. I agree with Councilman Carson. We need good sound and everything, but we need to have the fiber here to do it. You know, I think we're jumping the gun, we're trying to rush something that we just need to wait. You just get the fiber in here, it will be better for everybody. My other comment is I don't really think we need, I think that the people hear us is more important than seeing us. The expense that goes along with the TV and so forth is astronomical. And my last comment is, I don't think the city has a right to put, again, I gotta make a disclosure, I'm a past member of the volunteer fire department 36 years. I don't think the city has a right to come into this clubhouse and make changes to it, put a box against where that fire extinguisher is there to disrupt this building. The council knows in past years, the volunteers were treated terribly by previous councils and they booted them. They had to go all around town trying to find a place to have a meeting. So we've got a real good deal here with them, and I don't know if the chief could elaborate if they met, talked to the volunteers at all on this. Sure, they're gonna do waterways up there, you know, this whole building here is an old church, we all understand that. Sound is good. When I talked with Public Works Director Mike, the speakers we had here were 16 years old. Things need to be replaced in the modern era. I talked to the treasurer, she says, well, we could probably put it in the budget to get new speakers. It's a sound issue. The people are squawking, calling in, they have a legitimate right to squawk and call in if they can't hear us. It's a sound thing. And in the write-up here, you know, and I hate to cut this thing all apart, but, you know, they openly admit that the first sound system we got was terrible. They said, we openly admit the sound system sucked. And we apologize, we should have got a better system. Well, you know, that to me, if we weren't good, they didn't do a good job the first try, what makes us think we're gonna get it done right the second time? You know, and I personally take some offense. Again, we are a small city with a small budget, and we do our best to spend our money right for the taxpayers. And again, Jennifer, she's disagreed with me, which is all right and just. You know, they say, you know, you don't buy this stuff at Costco and Walmart. It's none of their business where we buy our stuff. We want, for $32,000, this is gonna be the state of art, but I just don't think we need the TV stuff if we don't got the internet the fiber to support it. That's mine, got a whole bunch of comments relative to that.
And for the record, what I thought I'd do after tonight's meeting is email out the audio from using the OWL and the audio from the 13th where we had the microphones that we currently own, just for comparison. And then everyone could hear what people on Zoom are hearing right now, to compare the two speakers. So.
I mean,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I like that idea as well, and I think one of my concerns, having experienced our Zoom meetings firsthand a couple weeks ago, was that we really do need either better microphones or microphones for every single person who's needing to be heard at the table. Anytime, for example, our attorney, anytime he leaned back or moved over, it was hard to hear unless someone was talking right in the microphone, where we do have some people having to share them, that becomes a little cumbersome. I'll agree with Councilman Allworth that I think sound is probably more critical than the visual. Having access like we did tonight, though, for some of these digital presentations, which we are getting more and more of, would probably be more important than seeing who's on Zoom or whatever else we use that for. But those are my thoughts on that. I'm sure this could be honed some, but I think we're a ways out on either the equipment for our fiber optics as well as this equipment. And the sooner we get decided what we want to do and get